Hi everybody, today I'm going to be taking you through how to applique these decorative patches onto your jeans and upcycle them to become some art jeans. So why not join me? Hello everyone, Debbie here. Thank you for joining me. Today I'm going to finish off upcycling some jeans. I have used the Alexandra Henry mermaid fabric, which I had left over from making some throw pillows, some cushions. I had some left over, so I thought I'd make some decorative patches and upcycle some jeans into some art jeans. But I do need to finish them off, so I'm going to show you all these techniques that I've used so far, and then we're going to put a few other decorative elements on them as well. So let's go. Hi everybody, let's get started. So I'm going to show you how I put these patches, decorative patches as I call them, onto the jeans. I have to do a little bit on the back, so just under the pocket I'm going to do a few here on each side just to take that design round to the back. And I use a Bondaweb. It's like a fusible paper used in sewing. So Bondaweb has a non-shiny side, which is the paper side that you can draw on, and it has a shiny side. Hard to see maybe on the camera, but if you feel it, you can definitely feel the difference. So firstly, you got your piece of fabric, you got your paper side of the Bondaweb, and you just want to rough draw your pattern. Now it could be a flower, it could be a heart motif. Now for this one I'm just doing rectangles and squares, so it's a little bit easier. So I'm just going to come in, let's have a look, I don't want to waste any of the Bondaweb, that's it. And I'm just going to come down a couple of inches, go across 3 inches and back up a couple of inches. Now this is quite a good cutting mat I've got underneath. It's got a grid on it, which is kind of helpful when you're doing squares. Great for quilting if you're a quilter. There we go. So that's our rectangle drawn onto the Bondaweb, and it's on the paper side. So now what we want, I've got my piece of fabric that I want to use, but I now need to be putting the sticky side onto the wrong side of the fabric. So let's do a rough cut out. Don't have to be precise, but obviously I don't want to waste too much of this Bondaweb. There we go. So we just got a rough cut out there of our shape. So that's the paper side we've drawn on. That's the sticky side, which has the sort of the glue on it, if you like. And that's going to go on to the wrong side of the fabric, not the right side, because we're going to be peeling it off once we've ironed it on. So I'm literally just going to go to the ironing board, run an iron over here and come back. Okay guys, I'm at my ironing board. You just need a dry iron for this bit, no water, but that will come in the next bit. So we're just going to hold the iron down on that for a bit, and the heat of the iron, yeah, it's fused that to that. Perfect. Right, so I can now start to cut accurately. Now, because this is if you like, it's an upcycle, it's like a boho vibe, but you know me, I quite like a boho vibe. It doesn't have to be precise, but I'm just going to get my rectangle cut out as neatly as I can along the lines. There we are. Okay, and And now it's a case of peeling the back off. Now, it's easier said than done sometimes, because you've got to go in, find a bit that will come up a bit. Oh, it's actually coming up here, look at that. Excuse me. I'm going to have to pull this forward towards me a bit. It's hard to do when you're trying to keep it in front of a camera, so hold on a sec. Oh, here we go. And there we are. So that's now got that sticky side fused to it. There. Okay. Next application is to put it onto the garment that you're upcycling, in my case, jeans. I am going onto the back here. Now let's make sure what you can see. There we are. And I'm going to place it just underneath the pocket area, kind of at an angle. Yeah, quite like that angle. Now, in order to get the Bonder web fused on, just put that back a little, that's it. We need a damp cloth this time. I have an old tea towel that I use for this purposes. I've wetted it, I've wrung it out, and I want to place that on top now. It's quite damp. And now we're going to just let the iron do the work. It's going to use a bit of the steam, the water. Just make sure we're covering it. Oh yeah, I think we are. Terrific. That looks good. Just double check it. Everything wet? Yeah. One more for good measure. And there we go. And you literally are going to now let that dry. And then after that, I'm actually going to hand stitch a blanket stitch all the way round. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to look at some more of my pieces. I've only got these small pieces here left of the actual Alexander Henry mermaid fabric, but I still think a nice piece there, say with a fish there looking in, that looks good, doesn't it? So let's see what else we need to do. I've put my patches on. They have been Bonder webbed on. So what we've got to do now, just let them cool. They do need to cool completely before we carry on with our stitching. Right, let's get started. So as you can see, I've had to get my hand right into the jean here. Just go in so that you can handle it. And I'm just going to start here. There we go. Sometimes it can be a little tough going through the applique glue, but it's okay. Now I've left my loop end here. I've threaded it in such a way that I've got my loop end here. I'm just going to pull that. There we go. Right, blanket stitch. We want to try and keep along these lines, but again, it's a boho vibe, so it's nothing, you don't have to be precise, but what you do want to do when you come out is make sure your needle goes under that loop. And then this nice top of the blanket stitch is made. So in and out, loop your thread around the back of the needle, pull it through, and there we go, we're making a blanket stitch. It's pretty simple, especially once you get the hang of it. It can just be, as I say, a little tricky. Because you've got these applique with the Bonder web, you're going through the fabric, denim, another piece of fabric, but guys, it's well worth it. Get some nice music on and get yourself blanket stitching. I don't know if you can hear my cat Simba, he's just come in to inspect what is going on. Hello Sims. Right. So I'm going to carry on now, go all the way around this one. finished going around all of the new patches that I've put on with different stitches. You can choose what you like, just a running stitch is fine. And now we can do the finishing touches. Okay, so I'm just diving into my button stash that I've got here, having a look for any decorative buttons of the right colour that I might want to use, just to give this a finishing touch, these art jeans. Now sadly, I've outgrown these jeans, so it's not something I'm going to be able to personally wear, but I'm very happy with how they've turned out. I love the mermaid theme. So just adding a few buttons onto the front pockets here, I think, just to finish off. So everyone, we'd love it if you would subscribe to the channel or give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. It really will help us. And in the future, we'll be bringing you lots more content. Jewellery upcycling, clothing upcycling, household upcycling, even getting into some journaling. So yeah, do give us a subscribe and we'll see you in the future.